What's up everybody, it's your girl D. I am the Big Apple Prepper. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, please like, subscribe, comment below that you like this video. On today's video, we're going to be talking about how to make a basic candle using beeswax for potential blackouts that are upcoming. Now, I know that you guys might think that this is crazy, that I'm always like filming out of a different setup in the background, and I promise you I am not on the run. I am just very sick and injured, and I stay in a variety of places because I need friends and family to help me out while I'm going through this. As you know, I have been in physical therapy for almost 2 years. It took me almost a whole year before I could stand up long enough to fry an egg. That's the kind of condition I was in. And I went to the doctor this past week, and that was a whole nother story. I had to redo my breathing test because I got hit in the head with a garage door about almost 2 years ago now. And when that happened, it damaged my skeletal muscular system, and I have issues breathing. So they redid my breathing test, and this is what the breathing test looks like.
Okay. So remember, pinch your nose, inhale deep and blow out.
All right. Hey, the birthday cake.
Inhale and blow. Go. Keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Inhale. Very good.
I missed the birthday cake. I finally blew it out. Okay. And then what happened after that was this. I went to physical therapy today, and oh my God, besides the breathing test that I had to do, I couldn't even record the whole thing because what you guys didn't see prior to that was that before I blew out all the candles to the birthday cake, I had to do it twice because the first time I almost fainted because I just don't breathe at 100% the way most people do. I've been breathing at 50% for almost the past 2 years since my accident. So after the doctor reanalyzed my breathing birthday cake results, he told me that I went from breathing at 50% to 58%. So I did make an 8% improvement, and today was the first day that I blew out all the birthday cake candles. So I'm super happy about that. And I just rested for the remainder of the day because I felt like a nightmare. And after I almost fainted at physical therapy, after I almost fainted doing that test, I had to do physical therapy, which is in the same facility. So I went to go get physical therapy, and I was, oh my God, I was in so much pain. She found a knot in my leg that has the same right leg that I have drop foot in, and she massaged the crap out of it, and I was screaming at the top of my lungs. And I haven't screamed in physical therapy since maybe like a year ago, because in the beginning my injuries were so painful I would scream anytime the physical therapist would touch me. So I just want to show you what happened in physical therapy. So she massaged my leg, and that's my leg. I ended up getting a huge bruise. Yeah, it's extremely painful, and I'm just been putting biofreeze on it. So now that we have those updates out of the way, if you would be so kind to click on the upper right of the screen of my channel, and you can go to buy me a coffee or donate to my PayPal to help me get back on my feet, because my health greatly impacted my financial stability. So any donations would be appreciated to help me out during this really difficult but transitional time in my life where I am getting better, I would greatly appreciate it. So please check those links out, and thank you for donating. So moving on, we're going to be talking about these candles again, and today we're going to be using the tiniest size. I believe this is the tiniest size that Ball makes of these jars. These jars are typically used to make jams and jellies, but today we're going to be using them to make some simple candles using beeswax pellets. And I picked up this package because when you have beeswax already in pellets, it's going to be melting much faster. I'm also most familiar with using pellets to make candles, so this is what we're going to be using, and this is 2 pounds of beeswax. Now, why beeswax? Okay, there's many different types of candles on the market. There are gel candles. There are paraffin wax candles. There are soy wax candles. There are palm wax candles. There are bayberry wax candles and liquid wax candles. But the king of candles is beeswax candles. Why? Because when you use beeswax, it will last. Oh, I think it just wants to do that. Okay. So when you use beeswax candles, they will last the longest. And when you listen to a lot of these prepper channels or read about prepping or watch the news or anybody that's like, yeah, you could just go to Dollar Tree and pick up a bunch of candles, like, it doesn't really work like that, because if you're picking up the wrong stuff, when it comes to an emergency, if you have not already tried out your preps, you are going to be in for a fun surprise. If someone's like, you could just go to Dollar Tree and pick up a candle, and you didn't really stop to think about it, and you're picking up a bunch of tea light candles, you're gonna be in for a surprise when those candles go out in like 20 minutes. So it's very important that you know what a candle's made out of and that you're picking up the right stuff. I'm going to be doing a whole separate video at a later time discussing the different candle shapes, and it's very important that you focus on the ingredients that are in the candle itself, and that you're not just buying random candles in Dollar Tree or wherever you get your candles from. So we're going to be making a couple of simple candles. I don't use fragrance in my candles, but you can put them. This is just very, very basic candle making, and we're just going to be making 4 for the sake of this video, because I have to keep this video short. I do have to go somewhere after this. So this is also a good time that if you are using ball jars to make your candles, this is a good time to repurpose your lids if you're into canning. Sometimes it's good to save your lids. I don't save all of my lids, but I do save a handful for little things like this that you're not using your jars to pressure can, because, you know, we wouldn't want to reuse our lids. So, and if you need to understand why, you can always go back to my earlier videos where I do show some samples of how I make pressure can food. So what you need is a melting wax pot. You need some jars. You need stickum. You need some candle wicks. And if your candle wicks don't come with sustainer tabs, you will need those as well, depending on how you're making your candle. Now, if you're using a candle wick that looks like this and not like the wooden tabs, you are also going to need a metal candle wick holder. So this is what's going to keep your wick in the center of the candle when you make your candle. And it's good to have more than one of these. I only have one, and because I only have one, I typically will go with the wooden candle wick option. I also prefer the wooden wick option because it also, in my opinion and experience, it lasts longer than the other wax candle wick. Okay. So we have 2 pounds of candle wax here, and I'm probably going to be using about 1/4 to 1/3 of this bag for these small little jars. But if you make a mistake, you can always leave the wax in your jar for next time, or add more wax if you need to. All right, now we're gonna start putting our wicks into the jars, and I'm going to be using these. I'm going to show you how to do one candle using the wax wick candle and the issue that I have with using this type of wick. Right now I'm putting on the stickum paste. And you want to try to center your candle as much as you can, your candle wicks as much as you can. So another one of the tools you want to have, let's put my head down here. So another one of the tools you want to have in your candle making kit is this very long spoon that I don't have. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to be using a regular spoon to mix this candle wax, but my spoon is not so regular. Look at how cool it is. It's like some oil spill color. Anyway, I digress. So you want to keep mixing the oil wax for 3 to 5 minutes, because this is going to allow the wax to cool, and after 3 to 5 minutes we can get to pouring when the temperature drops slightly and it's not super hot. And our wax has melted, so now we're ready to fill our jars. So now we're gonna get to pouring. Perfect. Okay, so some of my candle wicks slipped out of place. You can just pluck them back on, and that would be, we're gonna let them cool, but that's the main reason why you need this metal candle wick holder, because it kind of holds your wick into place and it doesn't allow it to move. So we're gonna give this some time to cool. Okay, our candles are all cooled off, so now we're gonna get ready to cut the wick. So when you get ready to cut your wick, you want to make sure that you're cutting it lower than the jar. And my wicks are different sizes because I've previously used the opposite end of these wicks on a different candle to make a different candle. And then for this long one, God. Okay guys, I just butchered this candle, so completely butchered this candle, but this is why you watch my channel, because I mess things up. Basically my scissors were not sharp enough to give it a clean cut, and it pulled the entire wick out. So I'm gonna save this wax, and when I have a chance I'm gonna scoop it out and just reuse it in my next batch of candles, but this is exactly why I don't like using these longer wicks, because there's just so many things that could go wrong with it. That's just my take. Maybe someone else who's like a better expert at making candles will have a better experience than I do. But these came out good. So our candle making batch yielded 3 good candles at least. And each candle, I think it lasts about 8 hours. I have tested this size with this same ingredient before, and it lasted about 8 hours. So I just gave myself 24 hours extra of light in case of a blackout emergency. And these are easy to store and stack, especially if you live in an apartment. And I think it's really time that we buckle down and get serious about our preps, because China has energy rationing. Australia just put out, like, it was on the news 2 days ago that they're also doing energy rationing. Texas has 6 power plants that went down, and they're doing energy rationing. Don't think that it can't happen to you and then you're unprepared, you're in the dark. What would it mean to have just these 3 candles and have an extra, day of light for you, so that you can get something done, so that you can see what you need to do, so that you can cook or do something simple. Guys, start prepping, okay? This is serious. So I'm glad that you guys enjoyed my candle making video. I'm going to assume you enjoyed it, okay? Because I enjoyed doing this for you guys. So give me a like, subscribe, and also go back and watch my blackout video, which I am going to link to come up behind this video. Check that out, see some other lighting options, get that going, and I'll see you on the next one next time. Bye.